Well, hello everyone. This is Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps along with Ed from Roll2Win. Good evening, Ed. How are you doing, my friend?
Man, I am doing well tonight. I hope you are.
I'm doing well. Well, we've been sitting here talking for the past, I guess probably past hour. We just got done over there watching John's channel, the unveiling of that new felt. Kind of makes me feel envy of the fact that my new felt has been put on hold, and I just haven't been satisfied with anything they sent me. Now, earlier today, Ed, during my live show, I said we were going to we were going to give away your table, and to my surprise, you said we could. Is that correct? I'm kidding.
As long as it's get one.
Did you say as long as it gets replaced?
Yep.
Well, we're not going to do that, but we are going to be giving away something in the show. Look, guys, we're dual streaming. This is the first time I've done this in a little while, so hopefully everything is working out. I've got a monitor on Ed's channel, a monitor on my channel. We've got my broadcast software up here. It looks like everything's going well. So it looks like between the two channels, hopefully we'll pick up some people here because we're going to spend another, well, probably 45 minutes to an hour talking with Ed from Roll2Win. Last week, we had a wonderful show. Ed and I did not know what the plan. Next thing we know, a little over 2 hours later, we got done with talking about how he bets and whether or not he uses strategies or not. If you guys haven't seen that, you can go to Mid-Atlantic Craps and check that video out. But tonight, we decided to do both dual streams for this purpose. Last Tuesday night, week ago, great show. The most viewers I've ever had, consecutive viewers at any given time at any of my live shows, was during that Tuesday night show. Ed ran a show on Friday night, had a lot of viewers. So this week we brought it back and said, let's do it on both streams. So we're attempting this dual stream. So whether you're watching over on Ed's channel or you're watching on my channel, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to have both of the chats up and should be able to display them both. When it comes time to giving stuff away, guys, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. When it comes time to giving that stuff away, we are going to have a little snafu there, but we'll get through that portion of it, and we're just ready to get this thing started. Ed, I'm looking at your channel, and they're already talking about your brown water. Have you got that ready? Have you got that ready to go?
Brown water is right here.
Well, as usual, I don't have brown water. I have this blue Powerade drink that I drink. No endorsement there. It's just what I drink.
Got Diet Coke.
You got Diet Coke. Oh, well, let's go around and take a look at a couple things here. Let me get over here to my chat screen. First one here today on my show, I know was Scott. Scott Schaefer said, hey there, about an hour or so ago. And looks like Kevin from Crooked River and Victor's on both channels. He's come over and said some things. Scott Schaefer, who's going to be playing with me in April at our meetup in Atlantic City, is going to be there. And Arnell's over here with us. We got John. There you go. Look, John says, I think I'm going to have me some brown water while I watch this. So he gets the brown water out. And look, there's Justice Jen over on the Mid-Atlantic channel. We also have Dice Dejan and Sideshow Gamble here. Let's switch over to your channel, see who's here. I know Mudslide Mac was here. This is from your channel. Why is that overlay like that? There we go. Mudslide Mac is there. Demon Dog is over on your channel. Victor was over on your channel as well. Victor must be dual streaming on both channels tonight, and we welcome everybody on both channels. Yeah, yes, right. Yep, and you got a couple subscribers there that I don't believe they're subscribers of mine, but you know, what the heck, you're here, we're dual streaming. Right now we've got 32 people between both channels, Ed, already. We've not been on that long, and these are your people. You got Heath, who says hello to everyone, and you got Bud, who's not a subscriber of mine, who says hello to you, and then we've got my good friend Roger.
Hit that like and subscribe button on Mac.
Yeah, we will. We'll get to that, because when we go to give stuff away, because they're really going to like what's going to give away, and I'm waiting for a few more people to jump on board here before we talk about what we're giving away. But in any event, Ed, we had a really good episode last week. Quite a few viewers for the time period for a live. On my show, I don't keep my lives up very long, only because of the analytics from YouTube. But the show was well perceived on both parts there too, and the idea was to bring it back, and some of the questions we missed last week, you actually called a couple of them on your Friday rollout, but because you were busy rolling, you missed some questions. So tonight, this is all about Ed and the questions that you guys have. So if you have a question for Ed, please put question. The word question in capital letters, or use a capital Q so that I can queue the questions up. The software I'm using today doesn't allow me to queue it like I do on Craps Chat, which, by the way, is coming up this Sunday on CGTV, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, over on the Casino Gaming TV YouTube channel. So if you have a question for Ed, we can definitely get that question up for you. So go ahead and... I appreciate that, Bud. I really do. I really appreciate that you're a subscriber over here of mine as well. We can go ahead and get that started. So, Ed, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about last week. It was fun.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I had a great time, man. It was awesome.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
No, we just the questions were great. The time flew by. We did a little rollout for those that play Crapsee and had a little fun with that. You know, it was just a good night.
Was a good night. Now you were a little kind of I don't know, not trying to boast that 29 live roll you had last week. I got a question of mine. We started the Crapsee session, which, by the way, guys, we will have a Crapsee session. I'll put the code up. It's on the Mac side in the description. Ed's side didn't get the description of the Crapsee code in there. I'll be running Crapsee as well. But we let Ed roll during the Crapsee session, and he didn't start out that well. And I thought that you were very modest with what you said. You know, you were throwing. You made adjustments. You basically did what you told us you were going to do during the DI section of our talk, because really it was about strategies. We switched over to talk about dice influence because that video you did with Chris from Sideshow about 3 weeks ago turned out to be a really good video as well. And then all of a sudden, boom, a 29 roller. And did that surprise you on the 29 that you got that far, or were you knew you were on?
Well, I didn't know it was 29 while I was tossing it, but you know, to me, a perfect toss is 12 rolls with 10 box numbers. You know, if you can do 12 rolls with 10 box numbers, you got to make a little money. And so that's what I consider a good, you know, a really, really superb roll or a perfect roll. Anything over in that, above and beyond, is gravy. And you want to get the gravy quick.
Well, that's something that you and I didn't talk about. Last week we didn't talk about on the strategy side that you consider a decent roll 12 rolls with 10 box hits. I just learned something here. Not even into the question portion of it yet, and I've just learned something tonight. Has that been your theory for, you know, forever, or is that what you wanted to do, or
for several years? Because I'm always tracking myself. A lot of times I'll pull out 12 chips and throw 12 times, and my goal is to get 10 of them in those boxes over there every time. Before 7. Doesn't always happen, of course.
No,
it's not going to happen always.
No, it's not. But I mean, I don't believe can believe that we missed that last week, because nobody asked that question. But if you classify yourself as a 12 roller with 10 box hits, I mean, that's a goal in itself, 2 times to be able to do that, because you could have an 18 roller and not have the box hits. But that is that's really an impressive a feat to strive for. So if you got
it's not easy to do. I mean, you're going to get some crap numbers that are going to just pop in there, and you go play crapless with that same set, and you won't hit a crapless number. So you won't hit an extreme. You don't ever know, but every table's different. Every toss is different.
So go ahead.
No, I mean, every table that you play on is like a fingerprint. They're all different. And you have to make adjustments to what you're getting on that particular time. And sometimes you can make the adjustments, sometimes you can't. It's as simple as that.
So when you get to a roll, when you have a 12 roller and you don't hit the 10 box hits, are you disappointed, or are you just happy that next time around the dice comes, you can see what modifications you have to make to your throw? We did talk a little bit that you're actually going to throw from a couple different positions tonight around your table, which may be something a little different that nobody's seen yet.
Yeah. When I'm focusing on it here at the house, trying to get that 10 out of 12. If it's 9 out of 13, am I really upset if I haven't thrown a 7? No, I'm not mad about it. If I hadn't thrown a 7, then let's go 24 and hit let's go 18, then 20. That you keep trying to build up on it. I mean, and then all of a sudden you throw 5 7s in a row. So it's just going to happen.
Right. Well, I'm going to put this back up here what John just said, and you just said, okay, now we're just going to throw 24 and try to get to 10. It's like, I'm happy if I get to 9. If I get above the averages, I'm pleased. But John says that that's years of toss experience here. Ed's looking for 12 rolls and 10 in a box, and I'm working his butt off for 7 rolls and 5, and that's his goal. So, when you said 12 and 10, that surprised me. And you went to, well, don't get it the first time. Let's go for 24 and see what happens. I'm happy myself with just that few.
Let's talk about let's classify that. That's the perfect toss. 12 tosses, 10 rolls. That's as close to perfection as you're probably going to get. I mean, I've done better and I've done far, far worse.
Well, I did far, far worse earlier today. You were on my live show at noon today, and I actually sucked. But you come in on the random side of that roll because I do some things with Crapsee on a table to let people play a continuous on a continuous table, sort of like going into a casino. But I like the way you word that. That's the perfect toss. So your part when you're not perfect, and it comes back around to you the next time. Obviously, you've gotten whatever you've gotten out to be out. How do you make the adjustments? What is going through your mind as you're watching the dice go around the table? And typically, I know you play early and play with few people on the table, or when you go with your trips with people that have your caliber of play, you have to wait a while. But what are some of the things that you're thinking about during that time period? I mean, at what point do you get that maybe today I'm off and it's just off and I need to go be with the wife and put a couple bucks in the slot or go do something else?
Well, number one, I will walk away from the table. Tell Mudslide we're going to do some shooting here shortly. Yeah. But I will walk from a table with a small loss just because I don't like what's going on at the table or I don't like something. And I'm as guilty as anybody too for staying too long, trying to figure it out. But, while it's going around, I'm thinking about the last hand that I just tossed. What did I hit? What were my dice set I was using? Was my landing zone correct or incorrect? Do I need to change my landing zone and stay with the same dice set? Or do I need to change sets and try that on the same landing zone, that kind of thing. So I have multiple dice sets going around in my head. Some of them have nicknames, and I think about those versus what I threw, where the 7s are, where the faces that make 7s are, that kind of thing. You've got to play, you've got to practice a lot, you got to play a lot, and you got to track them a lot.
All right. With that, I'm going to pause just a second and let everybody know we're dual streaming on both channels, on the Mid-Atlantic Craps channel and on the Roll2Win channel. So if you have a question for Ed, it's all about Ed. It's not about Jeff here with Mid-Atlantic Craps. I'll put it in a question. I'm going to queue up Jen's question here in just a second. Capital Q with a question. It's about the community. Yeah, thank you.
We're trying to have better players at the table.
Yes, I just got scolded by Ed, everybody, but no, he's right. It is. We're here to try to educate, not spread any snake oil, and tell it like it is. You've got a man here. I've got a man here on the screen that's been playing for 30 plus years, much more experience than me. He's helped me with my dice toss, but you wouldn't be able to tell it the last couple of days here. But don't tell them. But you know, we're here, and if you have questions, if you didn't watch last week's show and you want to ask the question again, we'll be glad to answer it. But if you haven't seen last week's show, I will at the end of this show put it in the description below, the link to it. It was a really good show, and for you Crapsee people, just hang in there. We are going to play Crapsee. So I'm going to put this one up here by the Mad Hatter, and then I got a question queued up. So guys, if you have a question, please put it like I'm getting ready to put Jen's question up here. It doesn't specifically pertain to craps itself, but it'll get us started hopefully with a question here. Ed, here's the question from Justice Jen, and let me get rid of that. The question is, how often do you play, and how far is your closest casino?
My closest casino would be about 4-hour drive. Next closest is closer to 5 hours, 4.5 to 5 hours. Right now I'm playing at least once a month, and you know, and right after COVID and the reopening, I played twice a month. I played twice a month for probably a year. I'd go somewhere for a weekend, but it was generally a weekend. Now, there were some times I would take some time off during the middle of the week just to have some emptier tables, that kind of thing. But, you know,
well, no, I mean,
hope that answers the question.
I think it does. I think it does. She's from the West Coast. She's from out in California, and of course, she's one of the few women that we actually have, as you mentioned, in our community. But she's very active in the community. I know she helped John a lot back at the Crapsathon back in the Cure for the Craps for the Cure back in November, and she's been a big supporter of my channel, and we talk quite a bit. And we need more people like her. We need younger people. We need more women to come into the community and understand what's going on. Like you said, Ed, you've been playing a long time. You and I are about the same age. You know, I think we just both turned 39, didn't we? Wasn't that 39?
39.
Yeah, I'll be 39 again in a week. But in any event, you know, we're here for the community, as you said. And so, guys, if you have a question, here's another question from your good friend Arnell, who will be running the live fantasy craps tomorrow night on Casino Gaming TV, and he'll be streaming it over on Dice Grinders as well. He says, Ed, what do you think of Cage not doing videos anymore? I guess that's an off topic from the craps community, what we asked you for, but that's a good point because you and Cage are tight, you and Arnell are tight. So, what do you think?
Yeah. Overall, I'm saddened that he's made that decision, but I'll also talk to him and I understand why he made his decision. So, you know, he's a good man. He's fun to play with, and I've seen his shot, and there's not a prettier shot to see in person than that shot that he's got. There's not a prettier shot out there. I'm very envious of what he has learned to do with that shot. I'd like to see him back, but you know, that's his call.
Well, I actually just learned something by putting that question over there. That's why I put it up there, because I didn't know that Cashier had stopped doing videos. I must have missed something along the way. But you're right. And can you describe his shot? I mean, obviously it's different from yours. Just to give people a little bit of the knowledge. I assume his YouTube channel is still up, or did he take that down?
His channel's still up, but I think he may have taken down a lot of videos, if not all of them. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know there's a couple up. I watched him couple mornings ago when he was making his announcement. He throws the helicopter, or chopper, right, as he calls it, and his dice, when they bounce, it's click, click, stop every time. Click, click, stop. And they stop at the bottom of the base of the rubber every time. Virtually every time. They never bounce hardly ever into any of the pyramids at all. So he's got what I would say is the perfect cruise casino toss. You know, where you got to hit the back wall.
Right.
Well, every time, or they don't call it as a roll, he's got the perfect toss. I mean, it just stops right there up against the rubber.
All right. Well, I'm sad to hear that too. I like it when he plays with you guys on Live Fantasy Craps. I like to watch his videos. I like the way that he describes what he's doing. I don't really pay attention to his betting style. I paid more attention to what he was doing because I can't throw the chopper. I don't know what it is. This hand here is my right hand is my predominant hand. It's been broken too many times for me to be able to try to do that. I know John does it, but there's people that do it. I can't do it.
Well, if I was going to emulate anybody, I'd emulate his toss if I could. I think I'm probably too old and set in my ways, but I mean he'll throw them about 3 feet from the wall. They'll hit, they separate, and they're spinning around sideways instead of this way, and they're spinning this way, and they land and hop, and they just stop right there at the wall. It's a beautiful shot.
Well, I'm saddened to hear that, and I think that'll answer Arnell's question. Once again, I'll give a shout out to Arnell, who runs Live Fantasy Craps on Dice Grinders channel. If you're not a subscriber, please go over there and subscribe to Arnell. And also, if you're not a subscriber of Casino Gaming TV, make sure you get over there and subscribe there as well, and join the Discord over there at CGTV as well. A lot of information in that Discord. The follow-up question to Jen's question before we move on to Mad Hatter's question is Victor would like to know, where do you normally play?
Well, I play some in Tunica because it's the closest, and then I play the rest of the time in Biloxi. Biloxi's my favorite place, and they've got plenty of venues, plenty of options, short drive from one another. Tunica's closer. Tunica I would consider, I guess maybe my old home court, but I've kind of moved that to the Hard Rock. So
okay.
I enjoy the Hard Rock, but you earn every dollar at Hard Rock. You earn every dollar that you pull off that table because there are no bonus bets on that particular casino. So. But I like the tables, I like the crews, and I enjoy playing there.
Yeah, well, when you have a really good crew that's working, that makes it much more enjoyable. I'm not going to badmouth any casinos I play at or where I go, but sometimes the chatter talk around the table. There's not many things that irk me at the table, but them not paying attention, getting paid wrong, I think just is one of the things that bothers me. But I've heard you talk about Hard Rock, and maybe one of these days we'll get together and we'll be able to play down there. Hopefully, sometime in the near future. Hopefully. Here's a question I'm gonna put up from Mark Mad Hatter. If guys, when you're asking questions, if you would please put a Q in front of it, because I'm not watching all the chats go by on both channels. We're over 50 people viewing at the moment between the two channels. So this comes from your channel on your side. Ed comes. Ed, do you get much casino heat when you're on a hot roller?
Not normally. I'm usually got the dealer's bet, and I think that's, whether that's really a part of it or not, it's something I think the dealers deserve if I like the crew, play some bets for them. The only place I've ever gotten any heat is at the Old Valleys in Vegas. And I was trying to snipe out the fire bet, and I was on my third fire bet in 6 tosses. I was on my 6th point in 6 tosses, or 3rd point in 6 tosses. And the box man came over there and refused to allow me to set the dice anymore.
I assume you left. Cashed up,
I pulled all my bets. I didn't fuss with him. I said, now what did you just say? I wanted other people, I had friends at the table, and I wanted them to be able to have time to pull their bets down to know that I was having an issue. So I questioned him again. I said, I don't understand. What did you just say? And he said, you're not allowed to set your dice anymore. And so then I said, well, then pull my bet. I looked at the dealer and I said, pull my bets down. She didn't want to pull them down. She wanted to turn them off. And so I said, no, I don't want you to turn them off. I want the chips in my rack. And I did all that just so that everybody else would know something was going on. And I'll never forget it. The point was a 4. And this was 2021, because I didn't go at all last year to Vegas. They took my bets down. I picked my odds up. Put them in the rack. All I had was my pass line bet. They handed me the dice, and I looked straight to my left, and I threw them right over my shoulder like so, and hit a 4. Hit the point.
I remember you telling that story last Tuesday night. That came to mind when you started talking about it. I didn't realize it was at Bally's.
Yeah, it was at Bally's. And then I did the same thing 3 or 4 more times and threw 7s, and they had to keep paying the pass line every time I did that. So, and so then I finally set a point, and I said, well, what the heck? I've already got $5 on the fire bet. I'll just keep doing it. But, I just kept doing them over my shoulder. I 7'd out and was gone. Never went back. Don't intend. Well, it's the horseshoe now, right? So, but if I see that same guy, I won't play.
Right. Well, let's move on. Before we move on to the next question, guys, in there, dual stream, both channels, Mid-Atlantic Craps and over on Roll2Win. If you ask a question, put it in a queue. We're here to answer questions. We got Ed. You can ask him anything you want. If you want to ask me a question, you can, but I'm probably going to refer to Ed because he's much more experienced. But I want to also put this out here, guys, before you jump in and jump out. Giveaway tonight. We're giving away that right there. We're going to give away the second finger fidget dice setting without those dice. Those black Craps Nation dice don't come from that. That's the one that got sent to Arnell, and that's actually Arnell from Dice Grinder's picture. No copyright, I hope, there, Arnell, for you, but that's when Arnell got that. He won it a couple weeks ago, and he got them in the mail. We're going to give away the second one, and that was provided to me by Adam G. on YouTube and Discord. I believe he goes by New York Strip. Adam G. made those, and we're going to be giving that away later on in the show, so stick around with that, along with maybe a couple of other things during the show we're going to give away. So real quick, there's a question in here. We'll go ahead and get it out of the way. Durso would like to know, what is your water of choice tonight, your brown water of choice tonight? I think we already talked about it, but in any event, I'm
actually test tasting a bourbon that's made here in Birmingham, Alabama, called Dread River, and it's not bad. But I don't know whether it's out and about or not. But it's not bad.
Well, as long as it's got the Ed approval, it's got to be good. There's some bourbons that I like, and there's some that I don't like. So it's got the Ed approval.
It's okay.
From Lou, who lives in the Atlantic City area, New Jersey area, he wants to know how safe the casinos are around Biloxi.
Well,
Uh-oh.
I don't have any problems. I don't have any concerns at all in Biloxi. Now, there was a shooting in a casino down there about 1.5 years ago, but it was over on a card game, I believe, and somebody left, came back in, and shot the guy. So, some dispute between those two guys. I don't know, but other than, I don't go to that casino very often anyway, but and it's a nice casino, but I have others. I don't have any problems. It's not like, it's not dangerous. I don't consider it dangerous at all. I walk from Hard Rock to Biloxi and you got to walk the street up the hill. It's just a block, but I don't worry about it. I might at 3 o'clock in the morning just because you're out there by yourself or something. But there's always people out and about. It's not like Vegas where you got tons of people on the street, because you got to drive from casino to casino basically in Biloxi.
All right. Well, hopefully I'll find that out sometime here in the near future. I'm looking forward to getting down. Biloxi is one place I have not been to. So let's move over to another question. This is off your channel, Roll to Win. It comes from Roger OMC Craps. Ed, if the table is crowded, do you join or you come back later? And although I know you talked about it a little bit last week about when you like to play, let's just hypothetically say you're not on your coffee run and it's not early in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I play a lot all day, and I play too much at times. But I will look, let's just say I'm walking in, I will look and see where the dice, it might be a crowded table, but I want to see where the dice are. If the dice are on the opposite end of the table that I can get into, and I know I can get the dice fairly quickly, 2 or 3 shooters away, then I don't have a problem buying in. But you know, I will leave. Sometimes I'll leave if it's a crowded table right after I toss. Even if I tossed extremely well, I'll just go ahead and leave the table and go hunt another one. I'll hunt a spot. I'll hunt a spot on the table before I'll, stay there all night or whatever for hours. I'm not going to wait. I like the dice in my hands as soon as I can get them.
All right, we're going to switch gears here with this next.
If you're playing solo, if you're playing lone wolf, like I play a lot of lone wolf scenarios out there, so I'm not. Why would I hang around?
Right. That's why I said like you gave the example on your trip report as well as last week about you went for your coffee run in the morning. Not many people at the table. You maybe one other person, and you were able to color up a really nice color up in just a short time period because the dice kept coming back to you.
Yeah, you get warmed up, you get dialed in, and if you're hitting a certain number a lot, this set you're probably going to hit it again because you're getting the dice back within 5-6 minutes. I mean, it didn't take long.
Sorry, I've got to answer this person's text message in the middle of a show. I don't know why I have to do this. But, we talk about that. And in my situation where I am in the local, there's only one table open. I don't have that ability to be able to do that. But when I travel, obviously you can go from casino to casino or whatever. I do a lot of cruise ship. You got one table open on the cruise ship, and then you got to wait for it to open. But, typically I'm the first one there, and you don't get the cruise ship. Craps table doesn't get packed except for on sea days and at nighttime, and I typically play when they first open. So here's the next question, and you don't have to answer it, but wait to respond till I put this follow-up question out from Scott Schaefer, a member over here at the Mid-Atlantic Questions. He wants to know, what do you do for a real-world living as I guess your job? But don't answer that yet, because you're gonna get a kick out of this when I put this next one up there. Brian from Crap Shooters has joined us, and he said, "What is Ed's profession? Maybe a cop." So. So they may somebody wants to know what you do. You don't have to say if you don't want to, Ed. It's totally up to you. I mean, inquiry minds want to know, but I just put that up there because I put it up there because of Brian's follow-up question.
I have to be a little careful because of regulations. So in the old school world of saying things, just call me a stockbroker.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away. I mean, I know what you do, but I didn't know if you wanted to answer that question or not.
I can't advertise. I can't do that kind of thing, but that is my profession. I'm a stockbroker. Nowadays, they call it a financial advisor. And for legal reasons, that's about as far as I can go.
Okay. Let's go to this question. Here's a good question from Bill. This is Week. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Bill. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Ed. Question: where do you rate focus and concentration when you're tossing 1 to 10? If you watched the show last week, Weck, not that there's any slight that you didn't. It was only on my channel. We're dual streaming tonight. This question comes from Ed's channel. He would have answered that. But go ahead and let's talk about that, Ed. That question. I'll put it up there again because it kind of fell down. Concentration and focus on a level of 1 to 10.
I'm trying to figure out a good number for that because it's very important. 8.5 to 9. I mean, it's as equally important as anything. If you're not, it's just like throwing over my back. I mean, that's not focus or concentration. That's just I'm mad and get me off this table. But you've got to focus It's so hard. You hear people talk about getting into the zone, whatever that zone really is. I kind of refer to it as I'm dialed in, or I'm really close to getting dialed in on this table. That means you've got your spot, and you're looking at that spot, and nothing else is bothering you at all. So that's very important. It's very important. You got to learn you got to learn to get rid of all the noise. You got to get rid of, stare at the puck. Whatever you got to do.
That answer actually surprised me on the 8.5, because I know we talked extensively last week about, I'll put the question back up here because he appeared on both channels. I want to make sure I get it off the queue here, because we talked a lot about how you approach the table, how you approach the dice, how you regulate your breathing, how you focus on the landing spot, and all those things. And at 8.5, I would have expected you to say 9 or 10, but 8.5 is close enough. I know you taught me, just like that video you did with Chris from Sideshow Gamble, you had him put a piece of paper on his landing spot, and then a little bit into the show, you reduce the size of the paper, and that focus, and that's why I thought that answer would be just a tad bit higher than 8.5. But how much closer can you get to 8.5?
I mean, it probably needs a 9 or 9.5, but there's so many other things that are involved with concentration and focus. I mean, everything from grip to set, stance, breath, spot, launch angle, everything.
Yep.
I mean, it's all tied together. The question.
Yep, you answered a question. Here's a question from Adam G. He's the one that actually donated the finger fidget that we're going to be giving away. That finger fidget is right here. Not sure you're going to be able to see it. We'll leave that up there while I got Adam's question up there. And that is, do you remember the Copa? I think that's it. Copa Casino. I thought he was going to talk about something down in Puerto Rico.
Copa Casino. I know the song.
That's Cabana. It's not Casino.
Then I don't know it. It is the Cabana. It is Copacabana, isn't it?
Yeah,
I was thinking that Barry Manilow song. I don't know. I don't remember the Copa Casino. Maybe I'm not old enough.
All right, let's move on to another question. I'll leave this up here. That finger swidget, we got over 60 people between the two channels watching at the current moment. And we're going to be giving away this. It's on the screen there, guys. So you might want to hang in there for that. When we're going to give it away, I'm not too sure. We're going to try to keep this show to a timely fashion. It's hard to believe, Ed. It's almost 40 minutes into the show, and we still got questions to go. So we're going to try to get to the Crapsee side. I know we got people here to play Crapsee. So here's the next question. Best ways to practice, like the tools used in Sideshow's videos. Actually, I just talked about that. I didn't realize that I was bringing up Ian's question here, and it's the same thing. You did a lot of tools. You told him, you took the broomstick and you did a couple other things in that video. What is the best way to practice, Ed?
Well, I think you need to number one, learn to hit your landing zone. So take your puck and if you can't do anything else, I mean, I've got chalk, sidewalk chalk right here on my drink rail. And at times I'll take my puck and I'll put it down there and I'll just outline a circle. That's about a 3-inch circle. Can I hit that circle? How many times in a row can I hit that circle? Or can I not hit that circle? I mean, that's hand-eye coordination. And a lot of people don't have that, so they have to overcome it in some way. But the other thing is we did the chips. That's a killer. If you'll run chips down your landing zone the width of the pass line and get both of them to land in there without hitting a chip on either side, those are practice techniques or gimmicks, whatever you want to call them, to help you learn that hand-eye coordination of placing the dice.
All right. The way that, let me switch back over. The way that we think about that practice tool, when you were saying that you drew the circle, you didn't care about what the outcome of the dice was. You're just trying to hit that same circle the entire time.
Trying to hit the circle.
Yep. So, any other good practice tips from what I guess from what was shown? You showed the landing spot. You used the broom. You tried to get them to I don't use the word lob isn't the right word, but to get the right velocity and the height so that when the dice land, they're landing flat and you're getting as little action off them as you can.
Yeah, that's using that broom handle or a wooden dowel across there. I'll tell you another good technique I've done before. I've got mine sitting right here. See that?
All right. Yeah, let me merge into that. There you go.
You take that thing and you put that hook right down there on the other side of your chip rail and run this thing the full length of your table and then set it there where you've got something going all the way across, and then you can see how high your dice are going in relation to the top rail, which you want them just barely over that, if at all. So that's a good practice prop, if you want to call it that. Put it right down beside of where you're throwing, and you can see it constantly where your dice are in relation, how high they are. I like the little paper one, but I like to use a paper about the size of your little fingernail. And if you can hit that consistently, you're right on target.
Oh, I mean, I like that idea. I like what you did with that whole show. I know we had somebody in last week's chat said they went back and watched the show multiple times. But let's go over and take a question from your side of the channel. Remember, guys, we're dual streaming on both Roll2Win and the Mid-Atlantic Craps channel. So wherever you're putting the chats, I'm going to bring them in and put them up there. When we get to give it away, we're going to have to do something a little different. We'll give you plenty of time to get there. So here's a question from Mudslide. Says, do you ever have the stick insists you toss to the middle of the table, not the corner or that corner toss rule as he called it?
Not on me. I've seen it one time, and the stick man was being a jerk about it, and he was really trying to rattle the cage of an inexperienced shooter. And so I leaned over to the box lady and I said, "You're probably going to need to get your rule book out that you filed with the Gaming Commission, because we're going to need to see that soon."
That was a good comeback. I have never seen that, but I'm not nowhere near experienced as you. You've probably forgot more about craps than I know, but I never heard that. I read the question. I pre-read the question before I put it up there. Here's a question from Victor. He wants to know what's your favorite DI set, your DI bet, set, and toss, and your favorite position. And I'm going to follow that up from a question over on your side from Demon Dog as soon as you answer that.
Well, I shoot from stick left 1.5, stick left 2. I also shoot a lot from the hook at stick left. That's a great alternate. It used to be my primary position when I would shoot with a group of guys. And I will also shoot a lot from stick right 1 if I get the opportunity. I'm not afraid to shoot from there. But that goes back to practice. You've got to practice different positions. And we're probably going to do that some during the Crapsee rollout tonight if we get a chance.
If we get there, because the questions are rolling in. All right, this is from your good friend Demon Dog. Wants to know, what is the trigger for you to change your dice set during a roll?
What do I need to hit the ATS?
I got you. We talked about that last week, and I never try to change my dice set unless it's a come out.
I used to do that only on the come out, but I've learned some things and how to set them and what sets. If I can go from a set that's, let's say I haven't rolled many 9s, for example, but I need an 11 or a 12 or a 2 or a 12, then I'll have a set that gives me a slightly increased opportunity, again, slightly increased opportunity to roll one of those extreme numbers, and the secondary or the primary off of that might be a 6 or 8. So as long as I'm still throwing box numbers and shooting for that, I'll change sets that correspond to my original set. And what I mean correspond is the faces that make the sevens are in the same location. If I'm on a hot roll or a long roll, it kind of freaks you out at first, but once you learn to do it and gain confidence in it, you can change sets in the middle of a roll 3 or 4 times and not worry about it. Because if it was going to be a 7, it would have been a 7.
Right. And I'm going to ask this question for those who didn't see last week's show. Ed got on this 29 roller, this heater, and on about roll 24, 25, he hit the ATS, and he needed I believe it was the aces in the midnight. And
Yep.
I don't know, you changed your dice set. You told us you were changing the dice set. We gave the people in Crapsee an opportunity to reduce bets if they wanted to, do whatever they wanted to do. And you nailed the aces in a couple throws. And then I think you just changed the dice set. I'm not sure what you did. Don't know what set it was. And boom, you hit the midnight, and all the ATS was gained within like 3 or 4 rolls of each other. You were in the 20s already, but you got the ATS, and I'm assuming that's what you did last week.
Yeah. I knew what I was working and the sets that correspond to that, and I was just going with it. Sometimes you get hung out there on a set and you just can't think. I mean, you're in such a zone, you can't. I've been out there before, and I can't even remember what a good horn set is that corresponds to what I'm hitting, and I just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to keep pounding numbers if I can, All
right.
So,
while we're on this topic, we're going to go to another question on the basically same thing, and then I'm going to come back to Julipon. I can't pronounce his name. Never had. I apologize. I just murdered that. A question that was asked probably 30 minutes ago. So let me put this question up here. It comes from your channel, Albert N. Ed, do you have any tips on remembering which dice set to use since there are so many to consider?
Yeah, you really, how many dice sets are there? I keep forgetting. 500 and.
It's a mess of them. I think it all depends on who you talk to.
Well, I could show you a table that's got them all.
Yep.
Then there's like 21, whatever 21 times 24 is. Do the math. I think that's correct. That's how many different variants of dice sets you can make out of 2 dice. I used to think it was 36, right? I mean, that's how stupid I was. But that's the first number everybody wants to come up with. So I track a lot of tosses, and I've tracked a lot of tosses over the years, and I know what my primary sets are, and there are corresponding sets on my chart that it's called I lost the name. I use Bone Tracker, number 1, and then there's a mathematician that lives down in Florida, a math professor. He came up with the chart, and that has been brought into Bone Tracker, and we use that. So,
well, let me add this in here.
We call it a coaster because he likes roller coasters.
I'm going to put something that John and Chris from Dice Station, John from ProCrafts put, and then I'm going to back up to a question from John, and I want to get to another question on this same topic. Chris from Dice Station says it's 504, but if you watch a Garrison, he says there's only 12 sets. There's 6 for the do's and 6 for the don'ts. And we're not going to downplay anybody's opinion about what they do here and how they set the dice, but obviously there are like you said, there's over 500 different variations of the dice sets depending how you make them up. So we'll follow it up with John's question here. He said, Ed, do you practice any off-axis style tosses? He does. In the case I get stuck on the right side or the stake straight out, or do you just avoid the spot and just stick left?
I've got 2 or 3 off-axis tosses I'll practice during a month just to see if my timing is still correct on those. It's not as reliable, but sometimes you need that. I mean, sometimes your regular stuff just doesn't work. So if you want to play, you got to do something, I guess. But so I have some off-axis tosses, and I am not afraid to shoot from virtually anywhere. I'll shoot from virtually anywhere on the table.
Okay. John also says, I believe he's talking about the Wizard of Odds proves there's 500 plus numbers in during the Crapsathon. He actually said that, and he is a mathematician. Shackelford. Yeah. So that was a pretty good comeback. Let me go back over here with
whatever.
Go ahead.
It's over 500.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
21
we've
times.
just had a couple.
I think it's 21 times 24 or 21 times 26. I can't remember now.
Right. Right. I'm not breaking my calculator out at the moment. Somebody just put it in there. Dice, Chris from Dice Agent said that it was 504, and we heard during as John was right, he did during that interview with Shackelford that they said it was over 500. Here's a question from your channel from Andy. Do you change anything on a bouncy table?
Yes, your launch trajectory is going to be lower. Your toss is going to be softer, and you're going to have to hunt for a landing zone, probably further from the wall.
All right, that was
Even
a good
though
answer.
You'll often see me crashing a wall to start with on a bouncy table because I want to see the reaction.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm putting this up here right now before I bring up this next question. It's going to go back about 30 minutes, and that is the finger fidget there that was made by Adam G. We're going to be giving that away sometime tonight. And I just look, between the two channels, we got 69 people at the moment currently watching, so hang in there, guys. We're going to be giving this away along with maybe something else to give away as well. So here's your next question coming out, Ed. This comes from Jalapon. It's, Ed, do you ever consider intentionally 7ing out due to a bad crowd of people or drama at the table despite being on a hot roll?
Hell no.
I knew that was going to come. That's why I put that up there. Why would you? But I agree with that.
If I'm in the zone, I don't even know what's going on at the table anyway. So.
Right. That's a quick yes and no answer. I mean, that's good. This is from Dustin 1. He wants to know, are you all about the comps? I know you're all about the money because you've said it many times. You don't go to entertain and have fun. You go to make money. And I know that you said this, and I'll let you say it. But if somebody wanted you to come to Blackhawk, what's it take to get you there? I know the answer, so I'm gonna let you say it.
They're going to have to fly me there and give me a room and food.
I knew that was coming. So I guess to answer the question, it is about the comps, but as far as you worrying about the comps, because you travel a lot with your wife.
Yes. Yeah. She goes to Biloxi with me quite often, or to Tunica, whichever we go. And the host always treat me well. I have no complaints, but I do want. I expect. Is that a bad thing to say? I expect comps. I had a cruise offer. I'll give you the quick story and skinny on it. I had a cruise offer in the fall when they first reopened the cruises, and I put my name. I said, "Yeah, let's make a cruise." They came back with an offer where I was going to have to pay, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going then. Never mind." And just, I'm sorry I bothered you. And they kept calling every day. They would call me and say, "Don't you want that offer?" And I said, "Didn't I tell you I wasn't interested?" And about the third or fourth day, they called me. The same person called me and asked me that question. I said, "I want you to take out a pen and paper and I want you to write this down." I said, "Write my name." And they did. And then I said, "After you do that, I want you to put, does not pay anyone to go gamble." And they said, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm serious." I said, I told you I wasn't interested when you came back with a price. I'm sorry I wasted your time, but I'm going to start getting rude with you if you don't leave me alone. About 2 days later, their boss called me and says, "We'll give you a comped room on the outside of the ship with a balcony," and all that kind of crap. Which we ended up not going because my wife got freaked out about the COVID thing and we didn't go. So.
Right.
But I did get the offer. And I did pay. I went ahead and paid the port fees and all that. I mean, I know I've got to pay the port fees and the taxes, which are nothing.
Which are nothing. That's correct.
I paid those, and then I ended up having to cancel because we were just a little too nervous.
Well, you know that I'm a big time cruiser, and I haven't paid for a cruise in 10 years. And it's the same thing. You got to pay the port fees and taxes. I know Brian from Holy Roller. He's all about the free cruise. He loves to cruise and play craps, and his channel can explain about the cruising comps better than I can. But wherever you're playing craps at, you go for this sole purpose of making money. Otherwise, you're not going to pull out your buy-in and put it on the table. So
Yeah,
I think that's
I'm risking my money at their place. They could at least get me there, get me back, and keep me fed.
Yep. Yep. Here's a question from Arnell. We're going back just a little bit. Do you walk the table to measure distance to your ideal practice distance, like measuring, like using your shoe size or maybe a foot count or something like that?
I have done that, but they've got this neat little thing on your cell phone now that's called a ruler,
Yep.
and you can measure. You can go to a table that's closed, and you can measure it. you know, from inside wall to your shooting position. With that, how more precise can you get, other than being on the exact table? But I mean, even then, you can just walk beside it and you can scan right down the side of it to see where you want to be at. But I have done it I have stepped it out. Yes.
Here's something I'm going to talk about. Adam's asked me to talk about it because he was there and witnessed it. I talked about it on my show earlier today, and I was going to talk about it on Craps Chat. Craps Chat, which is coming up this Sunday night, 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific. This question here goes, Jeff, describe one Clay dropped the dice without throwing them in Atlantic City, and the box guy called the 9 and told the dealers to pay us. So basically what he did, Ed, is he set his dice up, and he holds his dice in his pinky back, and he went to roll it, and the corners or the side of the divot, not the divot, of the side of the dice called it, and when he let it go, it only rolled 9 or 10 inches in front of him, and the box man called that's a 549, or maybe it was a 6-3, whatever it was, 549, and he had to tell the dealers several times to pay the bets. And we all were surprised. The dice didn't roll but maybe 9 to 12 inches in front of him. The box man, after the roll, explained, you made an effort to throw the dice, that's a roll. I'm going to tell you, if that had been a 5-2, 6-1, or 4-3, I would have called that a 7 as well. Have you ever seen that before?
I have seen some extremely short rolls that died, right in the middle of the prop box called several times, yes. But that also comes with generally a warning, or at least a suggestion to get them a little further down the wall. Get them down there a little closer, please.
And
then I've had dealers do the opposite. I've had dealers do the opposite, and then tell them we're shooting to the wall, not through the wall. Don't throw them.
I've not heard that.
Right.
Well, the stick person grabbed the dice, was about ready to push it back out, and the box man had said several times, that's a roll. It's a 549. Give me the dice. Give me the dice. Give me the dice. Pay the bets. And then he gave the warning, and Clay was honest. He said, it slipped out of my hand. And the box man says happens all the time. I just want to let you know, 5-2, 6-1, 4-3. It's going to be a 7 out. And I thought that was generous of the casino, because several of us had big place bets. I had $50 on the 9, so that was $70. That it could have been a 9, but you just never know. It's interesting.
That's very generous, and I would say that was a nice crew you were working with to count it, and then tell you in advance, if it happens again, we're still going to count. But if it's a bad number, you're going to have to live with it.
Yep, he actually said had that been one of the Reds, he would have called it. Here's a question from Sideshow, your good friend Sideshow. You were on his channel a little while ago, guys. If you haven't seen that video where Ed is instructing Chris on setting the dice and throwing them, DIing if you want, you need to go see it. He wants to know what got you started playing craps, Ed.
Well, first, I've sent several people over there to watch that video since we shot that. It's called "What in the World Is Going On" or something like that.
Yep.
I got started playing craps in 1992, February, and in Tahoe. And I had never played before, and it's totally 100% my sister's fault. I'll blame her. She gave me a book. I said, I've never even been to a casino. And she said, well, here's a book. Read this on the plane. So I read about all the different games, and I decided on craps and slots, I think, and a little bit of blackjack, because I could count until they put the cards in front of me, and then I could not count. So, that's where I got started. I got started on a table where it was a totally packed table. I really want to say it was the old Caesars in Tahoe, and everybody on the table was rolling for 20 to 30 minutes. Every person, myself included, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And that was hooked. I was immediately hooked. Immediately hooked.
Interesting story. I also come from a poker background, and I always just would play craps when I cruised because it's $5, double odds. I didn't even know what double odds meant at the time, but you know, that's where I started playing craps, and just before COVID, took it real serious, and boom, here we are now talking with 79 people watching us between the two channels. Ed, 79 people.
That's a great turnout, man. I appreciate everybody showing up on both channels.
Yep. It's not a form of a question. This comes off the Mid-Atlantic side. And guys, if you're over on the Roll2Win side, please put a Q for the question. We're going to try to get to the Crapsee here in just a little bit. We're on to the show now, an hour. For a new player, is it better to start off with bubble craps at lower bets or just learn the game before you try throwing the dice? What's your opinion on that, Ed?
I would say you're better off reading a good book on how the game is played. It's not as complicated a game as it looks when you're brand new. I don't really trust the bubble craps machines. I don't even know if they're. I don't know. I mean, you hear both sides of the story, but I have played it. I played it down in Tampa because there wasn't any craps tables, in Florida, and I got to watching what was rolling, and I was betting heavy on the number that kept showing up. Now, I don't know whether it was luck or whether I had recognized a flaw in their dice, maybe because the dice were beat up inside that little machine. And I had decided that there was probably some wear on those dice that tended to have them come up as a 5. And I was betting heavy on the 5s and making. Well, I turned 200 into 1,800 every time I tried to cash out at 2,000. Never could get it there, and so I just gave up and gave it at 1,800 one time. So that was it. So I don't like the craps bubble machines and stuff. I mean, I guess you can learn there, but they don't do anything for me. Neither does the electronic table.
All right, I'm going to put this question up here. It was asked and answered, but Biff just joined us. Biff, on my side of the channel, it was asked by somebody over on your side of the channel about do you ever get any heat on your long rolls? And if you want to just recap on that again, if you get any heat from the long rolls,
Yeah, the only heat I've ever gotten, other than that story from Bally's, was apparently, and this was during COVID, and everybody's wearing masks, and you may or may not have plastic up. Apparently, my dice were hitting really close to the wall, but they were, I think, taking left turns, apparently. And I finally had the box lady lean over and say, "Would you please make sure you hit the wall?" And I said, "Sure, here's a hard 10 for the dealers," and I threw a hard 10. So, they left me alone, but it was luck. I call that one luck.
And I have to put this next one. It's not a question, but I got to put the comment out there because somebody early on, I think it was Clay, talked about crapless. And we talked about crapless last week, and I don't specifically want to talk about it. But John brought it up here. He said, crapless? Did somebody say crapless? And as we know, John doesn't like crapless. And I particularly don't care for it either, but I'm going to have to learn to like it because one of my trips I'm going to be taking here soon has a lot of crapless side of it. And Ed, last week you said you actually preferred a crapless table. And maybe just real quick, 30, 60 seconds, tell us why.
Well, you find out real quick if you like it or you don't like it in that session or that hand or that whatever. I mean, if you're hitting outside numbers, you love it. If you don't hit outside numbers, you've got a lot of money on the table and it's not paying you anything. So you've got to either play it regular, and you can just play 4 through 10 if you want to play light side. There is no dark side. There is no pass line advantage. The house edge is higher. The pass line, if you're playing crapless and you're not shooting the dice, do not even bother with a pass line unless you're trying to cover your ATS bet. Other than that, don't do it. Keep your chips out of the dice shooter's hands because you need 12s.
Yep.
And I've thrown 5. I've thrown my best hand as far as 12s was concerned, I threw 5 in one hand one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. We're getting to the end of the question and answer period. If I missed somebody's question, please restate your question with a cue to make sure we get it. And Ed will be changing his position. We'll be going to the Crapsee table, and we'll also be giving away this finger fidget sometime before we get there. So hang in there for that, guys. Maybe a thing or two more given away. Ian would like to know, what's the best book to learn about craps? Have you read books? And to go along with that, Craig from Old Bay Craps, I couldn't find it because he didn't put it in the form of a question, wants to know a little bit about that memorabilia on the wall behind you. So if you could answer those 2 questions.
Well, number one, that's your mainstay right there. It's a little dated. If you can get the green version, it's going to cost you a lot. Okay, these are not in print, so I bought it on Amazon. It's very expensive, but that's common sense wise, that's your best book. The Mad Professor wrote a book. The guy we call the Mad Professor wrote a book. You can buy it on ebook from Amazon. I keep it on my iPad for reading on the planes when I'm flying, just as a refresher, just to have something going on in my head about the game. He's got grips, he's got toss, he's got strategy, he's got everything out there in this the Craps Bible or something like that, but it's by the Mad Professor. That's the author, and it's on Amazon. Those are the 2 books. What was the second piece?
Well, Craig actually rephrased it. He rephrased it and wanted to know what the collection is that you have behind you. What is the collections?
The one that's got the most chips in it. Those are casinos, just dollar chips from different. There's a line there from Mississippi, top and bottom, from different casinos. There's Black Hawk. There's a lot of Vegas in there. Anytime I go to a casino, I try to put $1 in my pocket, I guess. On this side, it's just some of the friends like you and myself who've had our own chips made. I've just got a special place just for those. Some dice from different casinos up top that I've been to.
All right. I'm going to put this question up
and
there
that
because I think
that over there. This came from the Craps, Cure for the Craps. I put a bid in on this at this year's show, and won, and my bid won. I think I got it really cheap. Unfortunately for the donation wise, but those are original chips from the Flamingo when they did a collection of muscle cars. So there's a whole collection of muscle cars in that collection. I like it.
All right, that's good. I want to bring this bigger picture up because I want to point out, Ed, that those 3 bottles back there in your little inset, back there where you put the book, I Want to Be a Gambler, those 3 brown water bottles, they look pretty low on the level.
Yeah, they're low.
Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, they're probably low on this other. I got an inset over here that's got some. That's one of them's empty. But
all
yeah,
right.
I try to keep my sipping bourbons over here. So I just do little sips here and there. I generally keep my, everyday type of bourbons over there. But there's one in that side that's kind of rare, so I keep it over there.
Gotcha. Got to go back to when we almost got started. I held this question for last because I don't see any more questions coming up, so we're getting ready to get to the Crapsee. So if you guys are in Crapsee, I'll put this code up here for you. It may not stay up there long. I'm going to try to put the code up. I'll do it after this question. This question came, and I don't know too much about this. I don't know if you've heard or not, but we're going to talk about this on Sunday's Craps Chat. What's your take on the Roll2Win arrest in Pennsylvania? Have you heard about that?
I've heard about it, and it's nothing new. I've seen it happen, or I've read about it happening at a lot of different places. It's very easy for there to be some cooperation between dealers and players. And a lot of times they'll just delay the roll input so that somebody can still get their bet in. I knew a lady who lived at casinos, and she was talking to me about how she did it. And so I know it happens. I've never done it. I don't have it. I hate it.
Yeah, sort of like collusion in poker, just between the dealers and the players. You know, I've been paid wrong before. I've seen other people paid wrong. I'm an honest person. I actually, and Clay will contest to this, that you know, I'll tell somebody that they paid me, they overpaid me. But let me tell you, if they underpaid me, they also hear that too. I just think karma comes back and kicks you in the butt. You know, being overpaid, you know, $5 or $10, you know, you might miss it by the time you pick your chips up. But if they paid you wrong with greens, you know that you got paid wrong.
Yeah, you know, and I don't know why they overpay you. I think it's because I'm so handsome, but
oh my God.
You know,
it might be. I think it's getting deep in there. Let me say, I got my boots on tonight, Ed.
The last thing I want to do is cost a dealer a job, so I don't make too big a deal out of it. I might flip it back, but you know, I've had it the other way. I've had the box man say, "Put those back down, please," and you put them down. They go, "They owe you $4," or you owe them back. Throw them back the red chip. I mean, you know, you're not. I don't count them. I look at them, but a lot of times I don't catch it.
Right. So I'm going to put you back up here on full screen, and you're going to answer this question from John. It'll only take a second. He wants to know, was that a Woodford on the left, on the right side behind you, on the right side of that? Is that a Woodford?
That is a Woodford double baked.
There you go.
Double baked.
There you go, John. You got that. You got that answer for you. Because I don't know what a Woodford is. I am a bourbon person, but I'm not. I might have to bring this picture back up. He's grabbing it off the shelf. Let me go ahead and switch over to that real quick. There you go, guys.
Double baked.
Woodford. Double baked.
Double baked. Yeah.
Nice.
Whatever that means. It's very delicious.
Right. Well, we're getting down. We just got a couple more questions in. I guess it's because I said that we needed some more questions. Real quick here, Brian from Hawaii Crap Shooters wants to know, what's the longest you have ever been on the table? I think I've heard you say this before, either in Craps Chat or maybe last week, but what say you on that?
18 hours.
18 hours. I thought that was the answer. I just wasn't too sure about that.
Nonstop. 18 hours nonstop.
And you colored up at what point? What level?
Shit, I don't remember, man. That was in Tahoe. That was on that first trip.
Right.
I remember going back to the condo, sleeping 6 hours, and going back and playing another 8.
Wow.
So,
all right.
And that was like a $2 table back then, I think. But,
all right, here's a question, guys. We're getting down to some of the silly questions here. If you got another question, please make sure you guys get that in. Question for Ed, is the bottle half full or is that bottle half empty?
that bottle is half empty. I need some more.
All right.
They're half empty. I need more.
Yeah, I would say it was half empty itself too. I'm going to get to Jen's question. I'm going to put this up here because Victor is a big supporter of both channels. And Victor wants to know, would you like a slightly used chi-square tally system for the 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4 top faces? And I don't know, this was back when we were talking about dice sets and stuff, but are you familiar with what he's talking about there?
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem looking at it. I know what my personal chi is on my set, so you know, I'll look at anything. I'd be happy to. I got a rocket scientist that wants me to send him my tosses. I won't do it.
Well, there you go. As well. We're getting to the end of the questions. I'm making sure I see some people just popped on here. Guys, we've been on for about an hour and 20 minutes. We're going to get to the Crapsee session soon. Here's a question from, I'm going to call her the judge, but she's really not. But Justice Jeff, can you ask him to demonstrate his 42 and 90 bet progression during his practice shooting when he sees a hot number? So when we get into it, Ed, can you do that for us?
We can try, but there may not be any, so we don't know, right?
Right. And,
but I've demonstrated without it, but you don't ever know what you're going to roll until you roll them, right?
That's true.
You want me to bet
exactly
along
right.
with you?
You can if you want. You can if you want.
How big a
it's
bankroll?
totally.
can I get a really big? Can I get a really big bankroll?
Well, what kind of bankroll do you want? They're gonna have a $1,500 bankroll, but you can have whatever you want because you the man. You know, it's Ed's Casino. It's the Roll2Win Casino, Roll2Win Craps Casino. Brian has a follow-up question. Were you standing at 18 hours the entire time?
The whole time.
Wow.
The whole time. I don't even remember eating. I'm sure I ate some. I'm sure I went. I'll be right back. I know I had to go to the restroom, but I don't remember.
All right, and Nemo's popped in on both channels.
There were no stools like you see at casinos now. There were none back then.
Right. All right. Nemo's popped on both channels, and he said it over on your channel. I'm going to just put it up here. He wants to say hello to you. He said, howdy, Ed, long time no see. And he says, good evening, sir, or something along that side. Let me see what other kind of questions that we... pardon?
The infamous Nemo.
Yep, Nemo. Yeah, let me go back to scroll back. Ed, if you want to go ahead and start getting set up on your channel over there, I can go ahead and get us started to get these people, our viewers, I call them people, get the people watching us set up so that we can actually get to the contest. The rolling, yes, yep. So go ahead and get set up. And guys, if you're into Crapsee, I'm going to put that up here in just a second. I'm going to give Ed a second to go ahead and do what he needs to do. I'm going to put this screen up here in just a second. That's the screen of my table while he readjusts himself there and gets going. If we have any other questions in the queue there, we'll try to get to him while he's rolling. Otherwise, we're going to get to the Crapsee, and this will give me an opportunity to get my Crapsee rolling. And I'm going to try to put this code up here. I do not know. I'm not going to be rolling. That's my table, guys. I do not know why that is not coming up there. Why is that Crapsee code? There it goes. There's the Crapsee code, guys. And it's in this, I put this screen up here just so you can see it. It's in the lower bottom, but that's the Crapsee code. I'll put that up there again in just a second. I want to get my table up and running, guys, and you can play along with Ed. It looks like we've got about 10 people there right now. He's getting set up. As soon as he gets set up, we'll switch over to a different screen, and I'm going to engage my slow motion camera today. And it looks like we've got quite a few there. Looks like we've got quite a few, and we'll be ready to do this. Okay, guys, we're going to be giving away this. This is the finger fidget. I call finger fidget from Adam G. I gave he gave me two from Mid-Atlantic Craps. I've given both of them away. This one is out of the box, and I have it right here. I took it out today just so you can see that I have it. It comes in two pieces. Arnell can contest. It's wood on the base, and then it comes with a mirror that slides into it, and you don't get the dice. Those are Craps Nation black dice. They don't come with it, but you will get that. So here's how we're going to give it away, guys. I'm going to give it a little bit of a chance so you'll understand that, because you guys that are watching over on Ed's channel, there are 27 currently watching on Ed's channel, and over here on Mid-Atlantic Craps we have 52. So if my math does that right, we're at 79 people total watching. So guys over on Ed's channel, if you'd like to win this finger fidget that's right there while Ed's getting set up, we're going to give it away. Say that again.
How many drawings are you going to have? How many drawings are you going to have?
Well, for this one, just one. Why? Do you have something you like to give away?
I'll throw in some more wristbands, man. You just got to send me the addresses when you get them.
Okay, we can do that. We'll add something into the wristband. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to do a couple giveaways. I'm going to give away a hat or a T-shirt, a coffee mug, or something along those lines, and Ed will do the wristbands. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and grab one, Ed, since you're off camera. This is a Roll2Win wristband. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this or not, but it has his slogan on it, practice like you play and play like you practice. And on the inside, it's kind of hard to see, but it's his progression on his Biloxi tables, his progression. And it's kind of that way so you can turn the thing upside down and actually see the progression. Because down in Biloxi, you get the auto buy in the 4, 5, 9, and 10. And it's actually interesting to listen to him talk about the bets. So now back to this finger fidget. If you guys want a chance to win that finger fidget, you're going to have to jump over to the Mid-Atlantic Craps channel. I apologize for that. I can't do both of them. I can't pull out of two channels on the chats. And we're going to be putting in a word that will qualify you for the giveaway. So the key word again today is oops, for some reason, let me hit this refresh button here. My software decided to, oh, there it goes. We're there. All right. You're going to put in this word right here. I'm going to make sure that it gets in there. Robinson. That'll be the word that you're going to put in. I'll make sure that comes up on my side to make sure that we're connected. Make sure we're connected. Still waiting for it to connect. Let's see what's going to happen here. So guys, go to Mid-Atlantic Craps if you want to do that, and I'm waiting for it to come up. It looks like it's working, but let's try that again. It's Robinson, capital letters as in Ed Robison. Let's see if that comes up. And there you go, Dice Grinders has got it. I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen here. That's going to be the word that you're going to use. Keywords are in. Let's go ahead and engage that. I'm giving Ed a few minutes to get set up over there. Robinson. And that we'll give that away in just a little bit. That's the key word. So if you bounce off of Ed's side and go over to my side, you can go back to Ed's side, whatever you want to do. But if you want a shot at that finger fidget, you are going to have to type that in there. And right now we're up to 41 people already have asked for that finger fidget that have entered that roll. Now, going back to Ed's, let's get back over to Ed and we'll get back to that. We're going to give away a couple things on that word Robinson tonight, guys. So if you're over on Ed's side, which just hit 32 people in the chat, you need to come over to the Mid-Atlantic Craps side. And on the Mid-Atlantic Craps side, we have 51. So that's impressive, and we appreciate everybody being here. It is a good number. All right, guys, over here in Crapsee, guys, the code is YYoung7, SSAM2, UUnion6, and that will be the code. And I will be entering the rolls in the roll tracker as well tonight. So I'll be walking away from the chat side of it, guys, and I'll be going over to the KPI roll tracker while Ed's doing what he's doing. Ed's going to bet with us tonight too, so we might be a little slower. It's going to give us about 40 minutes of rolling. We'll get about 40 minutes of rolling in there, and we'll see what's going to happen with this. All I have to do is just shift my screen just 1 second, get over to my roll tracker, and we'll be good to go. Okay, Ed, do you want to say anything before you get started? Guys, if you want the Crapsee, I see something coming up here. Your people on your side are putting Robinson. You need to be on the Mid-Atlantic Craps channel in order to be able to do that. I apologize. That's the only way we can get the software to work.
That's a software issue. It's not an issue to try to get you to jump over to him for any other reason. It's just a software thing that pulls it off of his computer. We're just streaming onto my side, but his computer is interconnected with his software. So if you want to try to win something, you got to go over to Mid-Atlantic Craps, sign in, and type in whatever the code is.
All right, and I see this, Adam. Don't worry about it. If you win it, we're going to give it to somebody else. But if you win, we'll give you one of the wristbands. We'll give away a couple of those as well. And same with you, John. Same thing. If you win something else, we'll get it. But John, I know you have a nice collection of Craps memorabilia, like Arnell's. I don't know that he's going to use the one that he got, but Arnell's got a wonderful room of Craps memorabilia that just is incredible. All right. So we're going to get started with this Crapsee. I'm going to go ahead and lock them out right now, Ed. We've got 23 people in Crapsee that want to play along with you, and the floor is all yours. If you holler out your dice set, and we'll be able to see everything. And I'm going to start my recording my recording software here. Just to make sure that
you're ready for me to shoot. You're the stick man. You got to tell me when the dice are out, okay?
I've been called worse, but okay, dice are out.
And I meant to tell everybody to go really light on me. That's a 6-5 yo.
All right, you heard him. 6-5 yo. He said go light on him. All right. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to switch back and forth between the screen that you see now and this screen so you can see a little better of Ed's table. And we'll keep the roll tracker going. Let me make sure that roll tracker did engage that. For some reason, my 6-5 yo didn't go. But dice are out. Go ahead, Ed. 29 people playing.
Aces.
Aces, but there's two good numbers for the ATS. All right, well, that's two good numbers for that. Do you, Ed? Do you protect yourself on the on a pass line bet when you're shooting? Do you protect against those craps numbers? And
On a $25 table, I will always try to remember to do a $5 crap check.
okay.
I'm just not doing it right here on this show. But yeah,
All right.
I think it's a smart play on the $25 table.
Okay, dice are out.
There's your 5-2-7 frontline winner.
5-2-7. We're still trying to set a point. There's a 5-2-7. Let's see what that does to the tote board here. Let's take a look. Oh, somebody was betting on that 7 on the come out. Somebody had them hopped or had something laid because some number jumped up there. All right. Here we go. Dice are out.
5-1-6.
All right, 5-1-6. We may want to. 6 will be the point. We may want to take just a little bit more time between those dice sets and throwing. No, you're good. You're good. I'm going to follow along with this on my table because I'll get mixed up on the point as well. I'm not betting in Crapsee, but they're going to go. I might have misread that. I thought it said 27. It's 22 people that are currently playing. Okay. Ed's going to bet along with us. That'll slow it.
So for Jen, I'm doing the 25. I'm doing the $30 8 there. I'll do 2 times odds on that 6. And we won't worry about nothing else right now. Well, yeah, I will. I'm going to do 25. I'm going to do a 9.
Okay. All right. Dice are out, guys. Dice are out.
Aces again.
Aces. All right. Mark up the aces. All right. For those of you that are on Ed's Roll to Win, if you're putting the word Robinson in like everybody else is doing here, you want to come over to the Mid-Atlantic Craps channel for a chance to win that finger fidget. That finger fidget is going to be given away a little bit later on in the show. Kind of looks like that thing right there. That thing right there has a chance to do it. Okay, dice are out.
All right. Oh, that was ugly. 6-2-8.
It looked ugly too from here. 6-2-8. All right, there's your 6, 2, and the 8. All right, 6-2-8.
So for Jen, obviously, 30 pays 35. I will take $2 out of my rack, which I don't have any up here, and I'll immediately press that to 42.
All right. I also mentioned, guys, that you can have any rebuys that you would like to have during this show. Dice are out.
That's a 5-2-7.
Okay, 5-2-7. That's going to be a 7 roller. 5-2-7. It is what it is. We'll mark that up there too. Didn't get paid off that time, but in any event, you know, you never know whether you're going to be on or off. So we're good to go. Let's just give a couple.
I'm going to move positions now. The dice are moving to the hook.
Okay, give me 1 second, Ed, to let a couple of those get set up and get playing. I'm going to rearrange your view here, and I'm doing a couple rebuys here. You heard a couple people. Probably would have me too. I'm still hitting the rebuys, Ed. Just give me 1 second. So you're actually at what position this time?
I'm going to move down to the hook on the left, dealer left.
All right, so stick left front. Okay, the dice are out. The table is yours.
That is...
It's either a 5-1 or 4-1. 4-1-5?
Yep.
All right, 4-1-5. Yeah. I couldn't tell what the other dice was, whether that was a 4 or a 6, and I didn't want to talk bad. So I could see the one die, but I couldn't see the other. That was a beautiful roll. I wish I hit the playback button on that. I really do.
Wasn't bad for down there.
All right, dice are out.
And I recommend people learn to shoot from other spots.
Right.
Uh-oh. 6-1.
That didn't look good from here. That's a 6-1. All right. That took you last week. It took you a little bit to get in the groove, but you know, it is what it is. Everybody can have an off night. But
we're gonna move around. All right, so we're gonna change the other end of the table now.
Okay. So we're gonna change the other end of the table. You can see the landing spot. All right. He's going to the right side of the table this time.
Yeah. We'll throw from over here for a minute, just to keep it interesting. I'll make it interesting.
All right. Okay.
Same dice set.
Okay.
6-4-10.
6-4-10. Let me get that out here, Ed. A couple people were asking for rebuys, and they may beat me to the 10. We don't really care that anybody is really cheating, but I didn't get all the rebuys in before I told you that. YouTube's going to catch up with us because it's not going to allow me to enter that in because there's so many people asking rebuys. So somebody's going to be able to jump ahead on that. I'm sure YouTube is going to catch us on the lag. I was pushing them as fast as I could push them on that 7 ounce. That's a 6-4-10. And give me just 1 second, Ed, to get these things called up before we come out again.
No rush. You tell me when the dice are out.
All right, I will. I'll do it. Don't do that to me, computer. All right, dice are. Oh, hold on. He's got another rebuy. Still trying to catch up on the rebuys. Still trying to catch up on them. I'm going to push that button as soon as I can. All right, here we go. Dice are out now, Ed.
Did somebody lay the 10 on my come out or something?
I don't know what they did, but they certainly asked for rebuys.
All right, here we go.
All right.
4-3.
It's a 4-3. So that's another PSO. 4-3. It can happen.
Another PSO.
Yep,
it does happen.
It's okay.
It's not that it can happen. It does happen.
Yeah,
right?
It does. Yep. Clay says you need some shooting oil.
I probably do.
Right, let me hit these rebuys, guys. I'm doing them as fast as I can, guys. For those of you that might be disappointed, I'm not going to say Ed's going to have a repeat of last week, but he got off to a rough start and came back with a good one. The dice are yours, Ed. Dice are out.
Six, 3-9.
All right, that's 6-3-9.
Pretty. That one didn't look too bad.
Nope. Can you see the screen, Ed? I'm going to replay that one. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so here comes your replay right now. This is a replay. I'm going to slow it down as soon as you let go of the dice. That was a pretty shot. Really pretty shot. Really pretty shot. Yep. All right. Let me hit this rebuy. Evidently, somebody went broke on the 9. I don't know if they were laying the 9 or what they were doing. We got 21 people in Crapsee at the moment. The dice are out. That was a pretty shot. I like that. 9's the point,
right? Huh? 9's the point. So
yes. Yep.
Some of you want to go inside, right?
Okay.
Well, too hard. 5-1-6.
We'll take that one. And you actually recognize that your mechanics were way off before the dice even hit the table, and you said, too hard. And that can happen. I mean, just like we said earlier, there's the perfect roll, but you got to have your mechanics on the entire time. And obviously you recognize that as soon as you let go of it.
So for Jen again, we're taking the 10 off of 35. We're pressing it to 42.
All right, Jen, he's doing it for you, Jen. Demon Dog says you need some swing lube. Swing lube, keeping the show clean here. We know that we're talking about dice.
There's a 6-1.
Oh my goodness! You had the dice out already. No, we're getting the 0.7 out after 0.7 out.
Don't you like that?
Wow. I mean, it is what it is, Ed. I mean, this is live. I mean, you can talk to John, and he'll tell you that when you roll live, you just never know what's going to happen. But you know, people that are still here, we're going to be giving away that finger fidget and a couple other things. So if you're in Crapsee, just keep right asking for the rebuys. Don't throw yet, Ed, because I'm still approving the rebuys.
I'm just thinking about some things here.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Looks like we have a Winston, Sully, Tweet, Justice Jen, and I can't see if that's Tobo on the positive side of Crapsee. Not by much, but on the positive side. All right. So I have that. What do you have? Oh, before you roll that dice, Ed, I don't know if I got my roll tracker off. Let me just see. That was a 9, 6, and a 7. Hold on, 9, 6, and a 7. What did I do wrong there? You're on a come out, correct? Are you still trying to set a point?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then I'm good. I'm just gonna let my roll tracker go the way that it is. Go ahead, dice, you're out.
That's a 415.
415. So we're back out on the point of 5. All right, give them a second to get some bets made. And if you're going to make any bets on yours, I mean, whatever you're going to do, it really it's up to you.
It don't really matter. I mean, she asked, let's do it.
Yeah.
In case we get lucky and hit some numbers for a change, just for practice.
All right.
You tell me when you're ready.
The dice are out.
Aces.
Looks like aces. That's what it looked like from here. Aces. Let's mark that up. Trying to make sure I got the same amount of rolls in the roll tracker as we do in Crapsee. Come on, Crapsee, get it with me. 16 and 17. Yeah, I'm gonna roll ahead on mine. Go ahead. Oh, hold on, Ed. Somebody just bumped in with a late rebuy. All right, guys, dice are out. There you go, Ed.
All right. $415.
415.
That's the point.
That's the point. It is.
Yay.
Almost buckshot, but not quite. All right. I think I missed a roll in Crapsee, but I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. Either way, we're close. I'm going to roll ahead on my KPI. I think I did miss a roll in Crapsee. Nobody's told me that yet, but in any event. All right, guys, dice are out. No, they'll tell you.
$549.
549. We already had that as a point in this hand, so you're not setting another point up for the fire bet, but the point will be a 9. Point's a 9.
All right. So just while they're doing that, for a point of exclamation, if I'm in Mississippi and I just hit that point, I'm going to place it for 36.
Okay.
Okay. Because I've hit it twice. I've been paid once. I want to get paid more, so I'm going to go to 36, which is the next level of the progression.
Okay. All right, everybody understands that. Let me get back over to roll tracker. Dice are out. Table's yours. 23 playing.
$516.
516. Let's mark that up. So 516. Okay.
We'll take that. We'll take that to 42.
All right. So everybody heard he's taking it to 42. The dice are out. $325. 325. Looks like that was your primary number last week, was a 5, and I think we talked about that before, both in Crapsee and on last week's show. You do hit a lot of 5s and 9s with your tosses.
I practice for Mississippi. What can I say?
I got you. I got you.
All right. So in Mississippi, that's going to pay 53. That 36 pays 53. And I immediately take it to 80 and rack the difference.
Okay. Jen, are you taking notes, Jen? I'll just put that out there. Dice are out. Let's go. We got 25 people playing now in Crapsee. This is Ed from Roll2Win.
Can't remember what dice set I was using now.
I couldn't tell you. You're the boss.
That's not it.
Okay. Balk. I call balk.
Yep, that's a balk. Runner's advance. 325.
There it is again. 325. Who's hopping the 5s? Anybody hopping the 5s and 9s? 325. Let's mark that up. Jen says she's got it. Cool. 36 to 80.
In Mississippi now, not anywhere else, that pays $116. Okay? And I always take that first black chip win and go to the rack with it. Okay?
All right. Lesson being taught here. All right, guys, let's go. Dice are out.
That ain't the right set. There we go. Always look at what's facing you. Make sure you got the right set going. Aces again.
Aces and 5s are the hot numbers. Holy cow, Ed. Holy cow. For those of you that are just joining us, we just did push over 90 people watching between the two channels, and I want to show you what you have a chance to get here as soon as I get my software to work here. Hold on one second, Ed. You got a chance to win that fidget, that finger fidget. You can only win it on the Mid-Atlantic Craps side. You need to go over to Mid-Atlantic Craps and put the word Robinson, as in Ed's last name, Robinson, in the chat, and it will qualify you for a chance to win that finger fidget along with some other things. But Albert's got the way we're going to do it. That's how you do it. Robinson, capital letters or lower letters, doesn't make any difference, guys. Okay, guys, dice are out. Ed, back to you.
All right. Whoa, long hop. Hard 10.
Woo, hard 10. 5-5. Let's mark it up. I didn't like that either, Ed. Let's mark that up. All right, no problem. 5-5. That's correct.
Hard 10. All right, so I always press it to 50, put the quarter back in my rack. So I got my money back, and I'm going to a $50 10.
Okay. All right. So you got, okay, explain that again, Ed. What you did on that.
So I had a quarter, pays $50 vig, right?
Right.
So I will automatically almost always press that to 50, put my quarter back in the rack, and I've got a free $50 bet out there.
Okay, right. All right. The dice are out, guys.
$426.
So 426. Make sure I get that entered in right. 426. Mark it up. 426. Welcome to all the new people that have just jumped into here. If you have, type the word Robinson. You get a chance to win some prizes here in a bit.
All right. So that pays 50 for one. I always put that 50 in my rack.
Okay.
On the first.
Yep. Yep.
So
all right. Dice are.
I put $75 off of the 6 into my rack now.
Okay.
Each number needs to pay its own rent.
Gotcha. We talked about that last week.
628. First 8 we've hit.
628. We got on the 8. Lucy, spell that Robinson with an N. You got it in there wrong. If you spell it right way, you'll be qualified. Just like Brian P. here. Just like Brian did there. It's how you got to enter. You forgot the N.
Yeah, so again, I would go ahead and take that 8 to 42 and rack the quarter. I take the $10 off the 35, take 2 out of the rack, put 25 back in the rack. So I have $7. I have $7 invested in that 8 at this point.
Right. Yep. All right. Dice are out. 25 people playing.
$415.
415. There's another 5, guys. Another 5. 415. That'll be the 6-5 he's thrown tonight. So 6-5.
All right. Where's Jen at?
Oh, she's here.
That
She's
80.
typing in the chat.
All right. That 80 in Mississippi pays $116. Okay? Pays that right there. You take, what I do every time now is I take $4 out of my rack. You stack all that up, count it, whatever you want to do. That's a $200 5.
Okay, there's a question here, Ed, from Jen. She said, okay, so there's no need to wait for a second hit. Just press on the first hit. That's her question.
That's correct. That's the way I play.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting she play that way, but that's how I do it, yes.
Yep. Guys, over on Ed's channel, hold on one second, Ed. Over here on Ed's channel, we've got Seamdus, Demon Dog, and Joey. Guys, if you want to get in on the giveaway, unfortunately, my software is only working on the Mid-Atlantic Craps side of the channel. So find Mid-Atlantic Craps. We're gonna give you some time to get over there and put it in. I believe the last time I looked, we had almost 60 people qualified for that drawing. We're gonna give away a couple things. So make sure you guys get over there to the Mid-Atlantic Craps side and enter that in. If you want to go back over to Ed's and chat, you can. Right now, we're right here on the Mid-Atlantic Craps doing the giveaway. Okay, Ed, dice are out.
All right. So I placed this 116 here. I collected that plus a little bit between the 5. Between going to 36 to 80. So there's a little bit more winnings. The 5's already won me $125.
Right.
And I've got a $200 bet. And there's the 4-3.
Ed, that's actually not a bad roll. We're going to see what it's going to do to the tote board, but that's really not a bad roll at all. The tote board's rolling in now. The leader just did fall away. Let me switch the screen just one second. And that 4-3, Ed, that gave you, shoot, I think that was either a 18, 19, or 20 roller. Give me one second. I'm going to take a look at the software here. That was a decent roll. It was a 16, so I thought it was a 17. It was a 16 roller, Ed. That's not bad at all for that roll. So we're going to move on to shooter 4. This is going to be shooter 4 now. At the top of the leaderboard, we have Scott Boxcar, followed by Sully, Yvonne, Tubo, PLO, and Lisa. They're all at the top, all in the green. So let's go ahead. We're going on to shooter 4.
Next shooter goes to the hook.
Okay, he's down on the hook, guys, so keep that in mind. He's going down there and shooting. Dice are out, guys. We're down to 23 on the Crapsee side. That was a rough roll.
7. Yeah, the 2 run away from it. That's a long way to throw the dice, too. That's a 5-2. Come out 7.
All right, so come out 7-5-2. I realized I didn't put the 4-3 in my KPI, so it was a 17 roller, Ed. That was on that roll, that last roll.
17 will work.
I meant to count the box in too.
I didn't hit my goal of the perfect roll, though.
No, you didn't hit the box number. That's what I said. I was getting ready to count that. All right, dice are out.
All right, we got a 6-2-8. 8's the point.
8 will be the point. All right, let's mark that up. 6-2-8. All right, guys. We're on shooter 4. Got about another maybe 10 to 15 minutes. We'll see what happens here, and see what we get here before we switch back over and give these things away.
You ready?
Yep. Dice are out.
Hard 8.
It's a 4-4, hard 8. All right, let's do it. 4-4.
All right, let's play pretend since we're doing this, right?
All right, we're gonna pretend. All right.
We're gonna pretend for Jen that we still had our $42, right? 42 pays 50 for 1. They're gonna give you 1. They're gonna take 1, and that leaves $90. That's the move. 42 to 90.
42 to 90.
I've already put, in theory, by the time I get to there, I've already put 75 in the rack. So now I've got a $90 bet with 75 in the rack on that number.
Okay. That was the point, by the way, we're going to be coming out, Ed.
Well, that's right. Did I make it back to back?
You
So
did.
we're coming out again?
You took a 6-2 to a 4-4, yes. Yep, we're coming out.
Okay, we're coming out again.
Dice are out.
Oh, big.
There's a big bounce.
549. 549.
All right, 549. Let's mark that up. Let's get over here on the 549. All right.
Tell me when.
Okay, Alfredo suggested something. I thought I had it that way for Alfredo. When it times me out, turns it off. Okay, Alfredo, thank you for that. We're good. Dice are out. Thanks, Alfredo.
That is a 314.
314. I got a question here I missed from Jen when I was full screen on fixing something on my computer. So let me go back to that question real quick. So Jen says 25 to 42. Where's the question at?
25 to 42.
Yeah, 25 to 42, then to 80, then collect 116, and then power press extra 4 to get to 200.
She's confused. That's on the 5 and 9. 25, okay. 25 goes to 36. On the 6 and 8, you go to 25 to 42. You collect the 50 for 1. You put 75 in the rack. Then you go, once you've collected it at 42, then you go straight to 90.
Okay. All right. Okay, dice are out.
Oh, that's a 6-1. I threw that one way short.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was some software gadgets going off. I hope I just didn't ice the shooter. I may have done that. 6-1. Let's mark that up.
I can't imagine you getting ice.
Yeah. Right, so anyway.
You want to do it one more time?
Yeah, we'll go one more shooter, and then we'll close this thing out because we got some stuff to give away and some closing stuff to give out. That'll give us, hopefully, we're at 33 rolls for the session. My KPI says 34. I'm not exactly where I missed something or overdid something. But currently, Ed, according to the Craps Nation roll tracker, we're at a SOR of 6.8 and an SRR of 4.3. You've had 3 come out 7s. So let me just finish hitting these rebuys here. PLO and Boxcar, Sully and Tubo and Alfredo are on the green. Everybody else is on the negative at the moment. So here we go, guys. We got 21 now still playing in Crapsee, and the dice are out.
All right, we switch. The dice are not. Let's stick right 1.
Okay, stick right 1.
That is a 628.
628. Your good friend from Sideshow Gamble, Chris, said, Ed, imagine them landing flat. He spelled flat wrong, yes. But yeah, I remember you telling him that in that show multiple times. You told him that.
Yeah, you gotta think about landing them flat.
Yep. Okay, dice are out.
Six, two, eight, back to back.
Back to back 628. Let's mark that up. Get caught up on my KPI. My good friend Clay's busted on me for icing the shooter on that bell.
I know it. I was like, what the hell is that bell ringing? In the middle
It
of
shouldn't
that
have
roll.
rang. The audio should have been off on it, but it wasn't. I apologize. But
Yeah, it ain't no
distractions.
problem. It didn't cost me no money.
Dice are out.
Didn't cost me a dime. Four, two, six. So 6 is now the point.
426. A little bit of lumber there. All right, let's go.
Those landed pretty flat there, boss.
Yeah, you said that at the same time that they landed flat. Chris from Sideshow says, "See, Ed, see, that's how it works. Land them flat."
That's it. He's right. He's a good student. He's a good student.
All right, dice are out.
Uh-oh. Bad number.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I threw it way too short. You see them laying right out in here?
Yeah, I did, and I didn't hit the record button.
No, they landed wrong, though. I mean, they landed right in this area, and they should have landed. I wanted to land them right in there.
Right. What is that again? What's the roll?
6-1.
6-1?
6-1. Yeah.
All right, 617 out. All right, guys, we got time for one more shooter, then we're going to get out of here because we want to make sure we get over to
Where you want me to shoot from? You're the stick man.
I don't. You can shoot from your favorite spot. I think you were doing best from somewhere stick left, wherever you want to shoot.
I guess I'll change that camera in a minute.
Okay.
All right, come out 7. That's a good front line.
What's the dice call on the come out 7?
6-1.
6-1. All right. All right. Did you change the camera? You did. Let's go. Dice are out.
Yeah, I changed. Another 6-1. Another ugly toss right there.
Yeah, I'm watching a couple things here going. That's another come out 7.
All them lay better to make money.
Yep.
Hard 6.
All right, that's a hard 6. All right. To everybody out there, as soon as this rolls over with, we'll get to the giveaways.
Yeah.
We'll get to the giveaways.
Hopefully you're going to have to take a nap before this is over with.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, it is what it is, Ed. You know.
Oh, it ain't bothering me. This is the way. This is life. This is real.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
A little short. And I got a 7 out of it.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and call it there, Ed. You know, obviously you had a good week last week and a not so good week this week. What was the roll dice there?
That was a 5-2.
5-2. All right, 5-2. All right, guys. So it's hanging there, guys, because I know it's getting to that time when some other shows are coming on that you might want to go see. So we're going to switch around, and if Ed wants to switch his screen back around, we'll just show this screen real quick. The only 3 people on the positive side. Sully, Kevin, Blue Jay Way, and Tubo wound up on the positive side. We appreciate that, guys. Okay, guys, anybody over on Ed's side watching, Troy, that you need to come over to the Mid-Atlantic Craps channel if you want to get in on that giveaway that we're going to be giving away. We're going to be giving away. Sorry about that, to keep Ed up there so large. We're going to be giving away that finger fidget and a couple other things, guys. So I'll give you a few more minutes to head on over to Mid-Atlantic Craps, and like Troy Justice, you need to come over to get that. Yes, Waylon, that's right. Clay can blame it on me like he does every other thing. Anyway, guys, it is what it is. Ed was on last week, and this week he had a decent roll. We did have that 17 roller stuck in the middle there at some point. It's all about timing too, Ed. Remember we talked last week about it's all about, you know, when you come up as a player and you don't, nobody would know you, that whether you're a good shooter or you're not a good shooter. But if somebody had walked up between that 17 roller, they would have been colored up pretty good, and maybe not so much in the last couple of rolls. But you know it is what it is. So everybody out there, come over to Mid-Atlantic Craps. Put that word right there, Robinson, and we're going to give some stuff away. Go ahead, Ed.
Well, you got to qualify every shooter, regardless of who they are, what you think about them, the reputation, whatever it is. You've got to qualify every shooter, and most importantly, you have to qualify yourself if you think you're a shooter. So, you know, that's why you'll see me on a lot of my videos bet really small in the beginning, maybe with a field bet and a come bet. I'm just trying to get a feel for what's happening, because I don't ever know. Right. I mean, you don't ever really know until you start throwing. You know, there's always distractions, but the more stuff you're having to do, stick man, dealer, whatever you do, people don't realize how distracting all that is. But when I'm at a casino, I don't move.
And we talked about distractions last week, you know, although people believe in icing a shooter, I mean, that bell that came out, that was not supposed to specifically happen. But you know, there's people out there that know your reputation and know what you're good for. And if you take a look at the roll tracker on the screen there, I mean, you can see that you never hit a 12 and you never hit a 3 craps either. But you know, obviously your 7 count was up there. But you know, you overdid on the aces, the 5s, the 6, the 8s performed. The 9 was 1 roll short, but the come out 7s is where you know, that SRR was so low, but the roll out ratio after the hand started was average. So you know, with that type of you know, KPI tracking and knowing what we did there, that last roll looked like a Christmas tree up at the top of the roll tracker. So Anthony, real quick, you want to type in the word Robinson, because we're getting ready to give away some things, and Jen has a question before we do it. Anthony, do it just like Scott just put it in there, because we're going to be giving away some things. So here's a question for you, Ed, from Jen. So you qualified yourself with small bets to start. Not sure how to interpret that question. I have to think about that again.
Yeah, absolutely. Jen, my typical bet on myself is a pass line bet, 2 times odds, if it's a decent number. If it's a 4 or 10, I go 1 times odds. Or, you know, a $15 table, I'm gonna go $20. And then I will do a field bet and a come bet on the first roll, or 2, just to see what my dice are doing on my time. Am I feeling good about what I'm getting? So, you know, a couple of those rolls I would have loved on the Crapsee Table with all those aces. That was a crapless set that I was tossing, actually. So, that 2-3-1-2 or the 3-2-3-1, both of those I use on the Crapsee Table quite a bit. But yeah, you want to definitely qualify yourself and bet easy on yourself at the beginning. I mean, why would you go? And here's, you know, I get a lot of people asking me all the time, where are you going to be? When are you going to be there? And I don't tell them. And I ran into this one time in Vegas where a guy walked up, recognized me. He had no idea that I hadn't ate in 6 hours, and that I was really angry at the dealers. And he plopped down $640 a draw, and I PSO'd. So after that, I decided, you know what? If I'm going to let people know, I'm going to let people know. But I'm not going to have 1 or 2 people come in there and try to make a bundle or lose a bundle based on whatever they think I'm capable of doing.
No, right, and we talked about that last week as well. That that's the reason why you take many trips. You just don't tell too many people about it, and if they recognize you, they recognize you, and if not, you're there to specifically do, to make money.
Come up, say hello. I don't even know that I might have a giveaway in my pocket. I might have forgot them and left them in the room. I'm notorious for forgetting, but always, and she's right. I forget what you just had up there. I saw part of it, but qualify yourself.
Yeah, I'll put it back up. Yeah, I'll put it back up there. She said that's good advice. We always have a tendency to throw a ton of money right from the get-go because we are so excited to get to the casino, and I'll add in there to actually also play.
Yeah,
so,
you don't need to do that. I don't even like 110 inside.
Right.
It just doesn't suit my style. I just don't like it.
All right, Ed, before we head over to the giveaways, let's go ahead and get our final thoughts out of the way tonight on the show. I enjoyed it again. I actually learned some more from you tonight. You just continue to impress me with your knowledge of the game, what you do, and how you do it. Obviously, tonight on the throwing side, you did have a 17 roller out of 6 rolls. The rest of them, not so good. But you're like we talked in the green room before we got started. There's everybody can have an off night, just like not every strategy works, and I don't think you had an off night because
everybody will and does PSO.
Yep, every time.
And if
yes,
that's different.
Yep.
Run as far away from them as you can.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts before we give this away? I'm going to wrap it down, do the giveaways, and then get out of here, guys. We have 71 people now registered for the giveaways we're going to give away. So if you're not there, Robinson on the Mid-Atlantic Craps channel will get you qualified for the giveaway. So with that said,
it's got to be close to that's a big number, 71. I don't know if that's a record or not, but that's a big number.
Yeah, 71 people have entered. At one point, we pushed over the 90 mark between both channels. We've dropped down. We're at 57 right now watching. So somebody that's not here has probably jumped over to one of the other shows that just came on, and we want to get done before. Yeah. Actually, we want to finish the show before Big AZ goes live with his show at 10:30. So it was the whole goal. We wanted to be done around 10 o'clock. But it is what it is. We went over. We gave them a couple extra thoughts. And Jen saying, awesome show. She learned a lot. And thank both of us. Ed, final words before we get to the giveaway.
Well, number one, thank you, Jen, for the great, intelligent questions. I appreciate you watching and asking good questions. I appreciate everybody who watched. I don't even know who all was on there. I've got no idea. I can't see the chats with our show right now, so appreciate everybody. Craps is the best game in the casino. You just got to learn to survive it until you can get there, and that's kind of how I try to play it. I try to get in, get out. I'm the eternal optimist. I'm always thinking I'm fixing to have the next 60 roller. I have to have, and for me, I have to have that mentality. 60 rollers are rare. They're rare. But, you get in that 17, 18, 20, 24 rolls, you're making some money.
All right, we have a final question here from Clay. Wants to know about Biloxi's tables, 16 foot. Are they crapless? Or crapless tables in Biloxi's 16 feet?
The longest one is 14, and it's only open on the weekend. The rest of them are 12.
All right. Well, I'm going to answer this question here from Lucy Lou. You're actually on the Mid-Atlantic Craps channel now with your chat. I do have a website, midatlanticcraps.com. You want to head there. There's a lot of information there. I do a lot of giveaways there, but the most important part about midatlanticcraps.com is the Discord. You want to get into the Discord because just today posted in the Discord is a $25 Amazon gift card. It absolutely costs you nothing to win that. We're going to give that away on January 31st at 8 p.m. over on the Mid-Atlantic Craps Discord channel. So if you want to head over to the Discord, click the blue button, join it. It's absolutely free. Just go to the giveaways and push that button. There is a new giveaway up there. So you're here, Lucy, and I appreciate all the kind words coming out. And are you ready to give some stuff away, Ed?
Let's do. I'm going to say one other thing. I'm still working on trying to get my whiskey glasses made, but the blanks are non-existent. I'm looking every day to try to order the whiskey glasses I want to get the logo and so forth on. And that's part of the reason why I haven't done my membership piece yet. I just don't feel like I've got enough stuff yet for the membership level.
All right. So on behalf of myself, Ed, I appreciate you coming on. We always say, are we going to be able to have enough content for 2 hours, even with the Crapsee? We're now pushed over 2 hours and 10 minutes on the show. I'd like to thank all the viewers and subscribers. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to both channels, please do so. Hit that red subscribe button, click that like button. Better yet, the best thing to do is to share the videos with somebody that may be interesting to you. That does definitely help out there. And thank you, James, for that super chat. We really appreciate that. That's how we are able to give away the stuff that we give away. Although tonight what we're giving away, that thing right there between Ed and I, that was given to me from Adam G, who was there. I appreciate the super chat there, James. But when it comes to what I do with the Durso 8 table and the giveaways there, we also have the Press the Card coming up. I'm going to plug that real quick, Ed, if you give me 1 second. Thursday night, Churro from Midmo Yo will be on the show Thursday night, and he'll be going after. There's $175 on this contest right here, guys. This contest right here has $175 loaded on that card. We've dial in from Skilluck and Arnell were unable to beat me, and Thursday night Churro will play me, and if he wins it's $175. If not, that gets pressed up even more money, and then I believe Brian from Hawaii Crap Shooters is up next. I do have a couple people that are not YouTube content providers that are qualified to play the show. We just need to get these shows in, and for some reason, Ed, we just jumped up again to 63, 60, 52, 62, 69 people currently watching between the two channels. So they must have come back because they knew we were doing the giveaways. That's all I can say. So with that said, I appreciate you coming on, Ed. I appreciate everything that you've done for me personally and with this show. I think everybody's had a good time. And I
love it.
I think
that's the way it goes.
Hey, it's the way it goes. The people in the chat here are actually saying, you know, they appreciate the content, and that's what it's about tonight. I'm the entertainer, you're the educator. We put the two together, and I think we match it. You know, I've got the voice, known as the voice, although Chris from Sideshow's got another new name for me now that I don't, not going to say. But we're going to go ahead and give some things away here, guys. Yeah, I know he's going to do it if he's still here. Chris, you need to go to bed. Don't you have to work in the morning or something? All right, guys, let me go over here and make sure that my software has everybody marked as qualified. We are up to, I can't tell that number. It's got a glare from the light. We're up, 69. That's a 7. That's a 7 or 9. 69 or 67 people have qualified for that. And I'm going to spin this wheel. So the very first name we're going to spin here is going to get the finger fidget that's between Ed and me. I can't see it because the way my software is up here. And I'm going to have Ed do the old countdown. And we're going to, hopefully I knew he was going to do it. There you go, Ed. That's what he calls me now. I don't know if that showed up or not. Did that show up? I can't see. Yeah. There's a reason behind that. Yeah. Anyway, so, and Waylon calls me the Eli Gold of Craps Radio. Only people didn't know I do a lot of voiceover stuff for radio commercials and so forth. Probably in your market at that as well. So if you hear the voice, then you'll know. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go. Ed, count it down. We're going to give away this finger fidget, and then we're going to give away a couple more things after that. First person rolled here wins the finger fidget.
3, 2, 1. Roll it.
Let's roll it, and it's Alan Rhodes, if the bot will put it up there. If not, I'll have to come back with a second. There we go, it's my night bot, the old bite bot up there. Alan Rhodes, if you're still with us, you need to send me an email at jeff@midatlanticcraps.com or DM me, direct message me in the Discord. Get to the Discord from midatlanticcraps.com. All right, let me make sure everybody else is still qualified here. Now, what's going out this time? That's the finger fidget. I am going to give the next person a... I need to write that name down. Hold on 1 second, guys. I need to write that down before we go much farther. Otherwise, I'll forget that. Alan Road. Alan Road. Sorry about that, guys. Usually I have pen and paper right here. This next thing is going to be a choice of a T-shirt, a Mac T-shirt, a Mac hat, a Mac coffee cup, the black and white one or the colored one, along with a tumbler. Your choice of either one of those. And with each one of these, we're going to give one of the wristbands that Ed has for his show with every roll. So here we go again, Ed. This is going to be the second thing. Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Here's the next winner. Let's see what happens here. The next one. Oh, look who wins. It's Justice Jen. The old Mac Nightbot picked Justice Jen. You have won your choice of Mac swag, whether it's a t-shirt, a coffee cup, a tumbler, or a hat, Jen, and one of those wristbands. And then finally, what I'm going to give away today, we're going to give a couple of those wristbands along with some chips. Ed, you have your chips for your channel, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you got a couple. So we're going to give away a couple chips and the wristbands for Ed. We're going to do 2 of those, and then we're going to get out of here, guys, because it's almost time for Big AZ's show at 10:30. All right, guys, here we go. Justice Jen, I'm going to write that down. She was number 2. Jen was number 2. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to go give away 2 of these, chips and wristbands. Oops, the next one is Roger from OMC Craps. Roger will get a wristband. Let me write Roger down here. OMC, and then this will be the last one, guys, here, because I can't believe it, we still have 73 people between the 2 channels. Here we go. There's the next one. Joel Rogers. Actually, I owe Joel something as it is now because he didn't get it. Maybe it'll go out with the same package. Joel is there. All right, Ed, we've given away some stuff. We had a good time. We had a good roll. We had a great time tonight. I appreciate it. We're just about ready to time out to get over to you know, our favorite entertainer in Craps, Big AZ, who if you ever watch that show, if you haven't watched that show, go look at Big AZ Craps Guru. You're going to be amazed at what you see in there. Yes, Jen, sometimes it feels like Christmas, and that roll tracker actually did look like Christmas. Let me put that back up there. All right, Ed, I can't even talk. Ed, I'm going to let you do your tag. I'm going to do my tag, and then we're going to get out of here.
All right, everybody, practice like you play like you practice.
You heard it from Ed. Yep, you heard it from Ed right there. And from me, thanks, everybody. Be safe and play smart. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.